So when you were at that meeting with the Prime Minister, what specifically did you hear from him?
What we were looking for was, what does an engagement plan with the U.S. look like moving forward from a federal government's perspective, and how do us as subnational leaders support that engagement plan? And second, and this was primarily due to President-elect Trump's demands around border security, of which I'd say we agree with. We want to have, increased border security on behalf of Canadians, whether it be drugs or illegal migrants. We need to keep those bad things out of Canada and out of Saskatchewan from our perspective.
Now, you've told media in the past that you might make a suggestion of putting more military patrol at the borders. Is that something that was discussed?
So what I had suggested is we're having trouble hiring Canadian border security officials. We're a couple thousand short, I understand, as we sit. We're having trouble as well hiring RCMP officers, and so I don't know that, fishing in the RCMP officer well is going to produce us a lot of results when it comes to border security. And so my suggestion was to actually bring the CBSA under an arm of the military, count it as your 2% military spend, and then allow your military to help with some of the short-term staffing challenges that we have in that space.
There was some aggressive pushback against any Trump tariffs, including export bans. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has been talking about restricting electricity sales to the U.S. Is Saskatchewan considering any restrictions along that line as well, whether that be oil, potash, et cetera?
No, what we'd be looking for is how do we actually advance this conversation to get away from the talk around tariffs and get back to doing what we do in North America, which is we are very much part of the energy and the food security supply chain. However, in saying that, we've just heard today that the federal government may be looking at export tariffs on oil, potash, and uranium, export tariffs on our own products, so taxing Canadians on products that we are exporting, which is exactly ridiculous as it sounds. And most certainly we would say that any talk of that is not on in this province. It's a betrayal of those that work in the industry. It's a betrayal, I would say, more broadly of Canadians. So we would encourage, if that's where the federal government is looking for retaliatory action, that they very quickly reconsider. And we would say, in addition to that, that maybe it's time for Canadians to have a say and a choice, and to determine who they would like to have a mandate, a 4-year mandate to negotiate with the incoming Trump administration. We see President-elect Trump with one of the strongest mandates that we've seen in recent history to negotiate on behalf of Americans over the course of the next 4 years. Alongside that, we see a Republican majority in the Senate and in the House. We're over our 4 years of what would be considered the norm for our minority administration here in Canada, and maybe what we need is someone to have the same mandate in Canada to negotiate with that incoming Trump administration. And so we would ask Prime Minister Trudeau to do the right thing, to give Canadians the opportunity to make the choice on who is going to represent them at the table.